and welcome back to my channel. Today's video, I'm doing a spooky book haul. It's been a while since I've done one of these, but don't be fooled. I have been buying books all this time. I just haven't hauled them. So I recently got rid of a ton of books to clear off my shelves and give me more space. And then I was like, you know what? I need to buy more. So I went and bought more. These are all used books that I picked up at thrift stores, savers, independent bookstores that sell used books. So I almost feel like this is okay. This is fine. This is fine. So let's get into it, shall we? First is The Push, which I picked up for 50 cents at my local thrift store. This is a newer book. It is about a woman who has a child. I believe it's a daughter, and she doesn't bond with her as well, and she thinks she sucks as a mother, basically, and she thinks that it's something wrong with her, and then she has another kid, and she really bonds with that kid. So I think she realizes that something is off with her daughter, and I think it's a motherhood horror story, and those are always fun. As someone who's not really sure if they ever want to have kids, I like reading stories like this where they actually present the horrifying side of having kids. Then I hit up a independent bookstore where they sell books in the basement for used prices. So first up, I found Lakewood. So this is a novel about a young woman who she takes a mysterious job in this weird small town, and they're doing a lot of weird scientific things at this job. Like they create eye drops that can change your eye color, and I think there's a lot of strange, unbelievable things happening, and I think she gets wrapped up in it. Okay, so it says it's provocative and thrilling. It's a breathtaking novel that takes an unflinching look at the horror that has been forced on Black bodies in the name of science. This sounds intense. Then I found Geek Love, which is a disturbing novel that I've seen recommended on TikTok, and it's about two carnies. Is that what they're called? Is it okay to call them carnies? I think that's what they are. Anyway, these two people that work in the carnival, I think they try to have babies, but they try to have like the most messed up baby ever. Like, I don't know, it sounds very weird. They breed their own exhibit of human oddities. It sounds really messed up. Then I found Grotesque, which is a novel from Natsuo Kirino. I'm sorry, I'm probably saying that wrong, but that is the author of another book called Out, which I'm currently reading now. It's about a woman she killed her husband, and she asks her work friends to help her. So this one is about two sisters who are living very different lives, and then I think years later they die, and they are living under horrific conditions. I think it explores Japanese society expectations and the cultures, and I think that's what Out also explores. So I'm really looking forward to this one. I haven't heard much, but I really like the cover and it sounds interesting. The premise sounds interesting. Then I picked up Deliverance, which is a terrifying story about a group of men. So these guys are traveling through the wilderness in Georgia. They're whitewater river rafting, and they come across some locals, and those locals aren't too keen about visitors, and they react violently to them, and they're put into a horrifying situation. Then I'm moving into the books I picked up at Savers. So first I found this copy of The Hunger, which I've been dying to read this. It is a fictional retelling of the Donner Party, which is an infamous story of a family who were traveling, their carriage breaks down, and they basically have to resort to cannibalism to survive, and it's in the middle of the winter. Then I found The Thief of Always by Clive Barker. This cover is so beautiful, and I guess this is a fairy tale fable story, and I don't know much about it, but it's filled with artwork that is pretty creepy. It's creepy. But a lot of people, when I posted this online, a lot of people said it was one of their favorite Clive Barker stories. So, and it's relatively short, so maybe, because I haven't read any Clive Barker, I would love to start with Hellraiser, because that's the most famous one, I think. But it might be better if I start off here, because then it's not super intense. It's like a nice way to ease my way into Clive Barker, so we'll see. Then I picked up some Goosebumps books, which they are so hard to find now. Goosebumps and Fear Street books are incredibly hard to find. I feel like it's become a thing again for people to collect them, so they're nowhere. I found Deep Trouble 2. It's about two siblings who are spending the summer in the Caribbean at their uncle's totally cool floating lab. The weather is beautiful and there are lots of neat places to go swimming and snorkeling. They're great swimmers, but then they get in trouble because it's a Goosebumps book, obviously. The fish seem to be growing. They're bigger and bigger into monster-sized creatures with monster-sized appetites. Excellent. Perfect summer read. Then we have The Cuckoo Clock of Doom. The artwork of Goosebumps is just insane. So this is about siblings again, because they all are. Their dad buys an antique cuckoo clock. It's old, expensive. Then I think there's a spell on the clock, a strange spell, a dangerous spell. And now their lives will never be the same again. That doesn't tell me much, but it tells me that something's gonna go wrong with this cuckoo clock. Love that. Then I found this copy of Frankenweenie, which I didn't know even existed, but it's so beautiful. I just love that it's black, first of all. It's just telling the story of Frankenweenie in book form, and it's beautiful and it's simple. I love the simplisticness, the simplicity of it, and the cover. It's perfect for Halloween, perfect to have in my collection. Ooh, let me try to take it off. Let me try to take off the sticker without ripping it. Ooh. So I picked up another John Saul book. This is called The Unwanted. I have several John Saul books now and I haven't read one yet, but they all have really cool covers. So this is set in Cape Cod. It's a 16-year-old girl. Her mother died in a tragic accident and she has to go live with her father in Cape Cod. She has really creepy dreams and she soon realizes that she has a terrifying gift. What is that gift? I don't know. And then I think that when she arrives to this town, something happens. Obviously. I don't know what it is. Then another John Saul book, Punish the Sinners. The dark rapture of a medieval terror has come back to claim the young and innocent one by one. This actually doesn't sound like anything I would want to read. Because I don't like things set in that time. But you know what? Because it's set in this time, it's probably fucked up. There's something evil happening. Okay, no. It's set in two time periods. So it's set in the medieval time with torture and all that stuff, and then I think it flashes forward to 1978 in this sleepy desert town where something is happening to the young girls of the local high school. In bloodlet and terror, a suicide contagion has swept the town, while a dark order of its holy men enacts a secret medieval ritual. Is hysteria manipulating these innocent children into violent self-destruction, or has a supernatural force, a 13th century madness, returned to punish the sinners? Okay, actually, it does sound like something I'd want to read. I picked up another copy of John Saul's Suffer the Children because I don't know. Do you ever see a copy of a book you already have and you're compelled to buy it because I don't know why. I just had to buy it. I have to compare it to the one I have and see if the one I have is in better condition. Oh, I didn't realize it's ripped. So the one I have is in better condition. Anyway, this is about a killer who's killing kids. And then I found this copy of Dracula. I just love the Signet, is that how you say it? Signet? These type of books, and I haven't read Dracula yet, but I was compelled to buy this. Like, Dracula compelled me. Will I read Dracula anytime soon? No, probably not. Then I found Summer of Night. I've been wanting to read this book for a long time, and then I found this really cool paperback edition. I don't know what that's called when they open up like that, so tell me down in the comments below. Yeah, I think Dan Simmons is a piece of shit, but this book is like, it's compared to like it, and he didn't get my money for this, so am I promoting Dan Simmons? No, don't. Don't read Dan Simmons. Do as I say, don't do as I do. Anyway, it's about a group of kids in the summer. It's the 60s, and there's a bunch of shit that happens. Then I picked up another copy of Julia. This is about a woman whose daughter dies in a very horrific, tragic way, and she moves into a new house while she's still grieving the loss of her daughter, and she discovers that the house is haunted by the ghost of a child, and she goes on a mission to figure out who this child is and how they died, and she tries to basically put the little girl at rest. It's a really haunting story. It's really sad, and Mia Farrow gives an incredible performance. I need to read the book because I loved the movie so much, and it's by Peter Straub, who is the author of Ghost Story, which is another book that's highly praised in the horror genre that I need to read. Then I found this copy of Little Girls by Ronald Malfi. Ronald Malfi quickly became a favorite author this year, or late last year. I read Come With Me, which is about a guy who is looking into his wife's, he's retracing his late wife's steps. She was investigating something and he didn't find out about it until after her death, so he basically takes over where she left off. And it's a really sad story about grief and loss, and I just really love Ronald Malfi's writing. And then back in December or January, I read Bone White, which is about this really creepy town in Alaska during winter where this killer comes out and tells people in the town that he killed a bunch of people, and this guy his brother was last seen in this town and he's been missing, so he goes there to see if his brother is one of the victims. And it's just really intense and creepy and filled with so much suspense and atmosphere, and I loved it. So I found this. I'm very excited to check it out. It's a ghost story. I believe it's a haunted house ghost story about this girl who returns to her family home and she thinks she starts seeing the ghost of the little girl that lived next door. I don't know, but if any of his other books are an indication, he's an excellent horror writer and I'm going to enjoy this one. Then I found The Nightmare Man. I don't know what this is, but I just thought it was really creepy looking. Alex has seen that shadowy figure before in bad dreams, but now his family has moved into creepy old N's house. Alex isn't dreaming anymore. Now Alex knows that the dream is coming true. The Nightmare Man is real, and he wants Alex to share the nightmare. This sounds like Freddy Krueger. Freddy Krueger is the Nightmare Man. That's what I'm getting. It's a point horror novel. I'm excited about this. You can read this in like a day, which I think I need more of those lately because I have been struggling to read. Then I found this copy of Killing Mr. Griffin. This book I read in high school. It's from Lois Duncan, who is the author of I Know What You Did Last Summer, and it's about a group of teens who planned to scare their teacher, and then I think they accidentally kill him. It's kind of messed up, and I think, like I Know What You Did Last Summer, they try to cover up their situation and they're haunted by their horrific act. And I just love that this is an old school book. Like, this looks like the one I read in school. Oh, it has her name on it. Her name was Margaret. Margaret, how dare you get rid of this, but thank you for your treasure. Then the last book in this little bag is another Clive Barker book, Weave World. I don't know anything about it. It's also described as like an epic adventure. I think it's more fantasy than horror. And to tell you the truth, I didn't really want it, but I felt like I couldn't put it down because it's in really good condition and I want to start reading more Clive Barker. It is the world of the seer kind, a people more ancient than man who possess raptures, the power to make magic. In the last century, they were hunted down by an unspeakable horror known as the Scourge. And threatened with annihilation, they worked their strongest raptures to weave themselves and their culture into a rug for safekeeping. Since then, the rug has been guarded by human caretakers. The last of the caretakers... I don't know. I don't feel like reading this whole thing. My throat is giving out. Anyway, have you read this one? Tell me if I should read it. The last book of this haul is Stephen King's Christine. I was pumped to find this copy because this is the one I've been searching for. And it was like hidden in the romance section. So this is one of Stephen King's most well-known stories. It's about a young high school kid who buys a new car, and that car has a mind of its own, and it's evil. And I've heard that this book is really good, but it's also ridiculously long, and as King does, he often goes off into little long tangents that are unnecessary, so I expect that will happen here. I need to read more Stephen King. I am slacking, but I'm slowly building on my collection. So let me know if you're interested in seeing my Stephen King collection so far. That is all of the books I bought recently. Let me know, guys, what book I should start off with first if you've read any of these books. And thank you so much for watching, guys. Please hit subscribe if you like this video and you want to see more content like this from me. I will catch you next time, guys.